That's why I became a supervisor. Because if I gotta spend time there, then I'm gonna spend it there doing something a little more valuable than working on the ground. So like for real, like you can use the same motivation to move you up in any direction. But at the bottom line is what Mark said, how much do you respect yourself is the real question. Because if you don't respect yourself, and you can always tell them when they come through, because they hear stuff like that and it's like, yeah, but you know, that's been going on all the whole time. And I'm like, it's been going on the whole time, but you okay with it? Like, it doesn't bother you at not one bit. So like, for real, like the question is how much do you respect yourself to have to keep subjecting yourself to it without any action being taken?
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. We're back in the lab once again at 4:22 a.m. But before we get started, please try and blow that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. How are we doing, Mac?
Cold.
Oh, it's Virginia weather is
I mean,
ridiculous.
no different than last week. But I'm pissed because my water heater went out.
Come on.
Yeah, bro. And that I joined gas. So like I ain't really trying to play around with it. So like I just called the people up, but the people came out yesterday. They told me that it was gonna take like a few days for the part to come because there's something wrong with the controller.
Mm-hmm.
So like they got to change the whole controller out. So like and you know, like it's crazy because I know how to do it, and I did a little research on how to do it or whatever. But like in the light of last week's episode, I was like, you know what, this ain't the way to go. Let somebody else do their job. Like let these people get paid. They're a local little company. The guys came out yesterday. You know, they seen me, and they like two little white boys. So they saw me. They looked kind of nervous to come in. You know, I welcomed them, with open arms and all that. You know, they cool peoples and whatnot. You know, I'm gonna let them go ahead and get paid for it. So that's happening right now. But it's been real interesting getting back to the gym to take showers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's it.
Specifically for the shower. Real interesting.
I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But crazy thing that you mentioned that I seen a video recently, and it was like how to check for gas leaks when you're a gas technician or whatever. And dude, it's the junk that's hooked up. I guess it was a gas, powered up heater or whatever. And he's at the edge of the pipe or whatever with a lighter. It's like he's waving it around.
Nah, bro.
I was like, yo.
Nah, bro. Is that really how they do it? That was a joke, right?
It was a joke, but I'm like, he had to get it from somewhere. I'm guessing like way back in the day, like old timers, they probably check it like that. I mean, dude,
That'd be the last time they check.
You know how old heads be when they very confident in their work. They've been doing that work for like years or whatever. It's like, I know it's right just by looking at it. Check it, I you got it, but like, I mean, let's not do that again, please.
That's fair though, like, because if you think about it, right, if you wrong, you ain't got to live with the embarrassment.
That's true.
Oh man. I'm just trying to figure out though, like, why is it that stuff like this always happen at the end of the year, bro? It's always
Yep.
at this time of the year, like around Christmas time. You
Mhm.
know, appliances going out, stuff,
Stuff on cars
people
going
losing their
bad.
job, cars going bad, people dying. Like it's always this time of year that is happening, and I don't get it, man. I understand people, like people, you know, they get depressed around this time of year, so illnesses go up, and you know, because they ain't got their family and all that other stuff like that. Like that, it's a psychological thing. I get that, but the my car ain't got no emotions, bro. Like why my water heater getting depressed over December? Like I just don't understand that. Like that's a whole new low right there.
I mean, it's probably also like the temperature change could have a big effect on that. You know, it
I
like
was
super
thinking that,
cold.
but my water heater inside, bro.
Eh, True. I don't really know, man. It's like I said. I was gonna say the temperature. You know how metal and certain stuff expand when it's hot, and then it contracts when it's cold. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that and most of the stuff is man made, so its life and expectancy isn't really that long. Like
fair, fair.
you get an appliance, you lucky to make it that for a year.
Yeah, I don't know
But
how long that joint been here. If I'm being honest, I don't know how long it's been here.
like we
I
we
didn't
had
know it
to
worked when it worked.
right. Um, I forget when I think it might have been last year
Mm,
or the previous year when we had to replace our water heater. Luckily that thing it went out when we were like coming in from a trip or something. Um, water was gushing out, but luckily we got it. We stopped it in time before it caused serious damage.
yeah,
But I think that was close to the end of the year also. I think it was around Thanksgiving because I think we went up to her.
the
We visited
Baltimore.
her folks, yeah,
Hmm.
and I think it was
I
on our way
remember that.
back. Yep.
I remember that.
Oh, you ain't the one. It happens to the
Yeah,
best of
it
us.
happened to everybody. I'm just all trying to
Yeah.
figure out why it's like that. It looks like, you know, it's summertime. Oh, it's tax refund time. You can't break down during tax refund time. I'm just saying. Asking for a friend.
Yeah, it's always when you least expect it and you trying to pinch them pennies, man. But I mean that's why we're trying to get to the point where like stuff like
We ain't
that.
got to have this conversation.
Yeah, we just shrug it off. It's like, all right, call somebody up, come get it fixed. We keep pushing. Or
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's all you really
yeah.
can do. Yep. Uh, not much been going on my end. Like I said, I was up for a little while before we got on the podcast. Just trying to learn some stuff. Hit me with a not really an ultimatum, but like she said something that really kind of like, all right, we need to stop slow rolling this thing and like hit the gas and try to get
Hmm.
to a point where we can be a little bit more comfortable than we are now. Um, so yeah, that's why I was up for a little bit. Uh,
I feel that. Yeah. You know, answer me this, bro, because maybe you might have an answer because I know you come from a different perspective than I do. But like, why is it that women can have that kind of conversation with their dudes, and then they dudes try to do something about it, and all of a sudden they pissed off because the dude don't want to come back to bed and he want to work? I don't understand that,
I
bro.
don't know, man. It's like you can't have a cake and eat it too. Like you want things to change, but like there's a there's things that you're gonna have to change for things to change, right? So
You know
I'm gonna have to spend more time up here, or I'm gonna have to spend
what I'm
more time
saying?
learning something, you know. But
Well, you be in a conversation like that, Alyssa could say something. I'd be like, I bet I'm gonna go back to work then. And she'd be like, "But I didn't mean sacrifice your body, sacrifice sleep. You gotta get some sleep." I'm like, "Nah, I don't need sleep. I need to fix what you just said." I'm like,
mm-hmm.
"Nah,
Yep.
bring your ass back to bed." I'm like, "But you just told me to do something." Like,
Mm-hmm. That's why I
oh,
was up
I
at
don't know.
2. I
Yeah,
spent time with her. I gave her her hours. I waited till she fell asleep. She started snoring. I was like, oh, all right, time to work.
Yeah, that's the move right there. That's the move right there. But I've been told that they still don't like that because if they wake up in the middle of the night and realize that you're not there is a problem. Can't win, bro. Can't win, bro.
Yeah, you gotta get it with you when you can. You know, find those little moments. Get those slivers of knowledge to get y'all out of that position that you're in. And I mean it's gonna take some time. It takes communication and time. Once you get into that groove and you get that routine down, it'll be a lot
Yeah,
easier. You
yeah,
know, for real, it's like once you get over that hump of the fundamentals, you can jump up here real quick, work on something, and then get back to your lady, spend time with your significant others and stuff like that.
right,
But it's
right.
just that initial hump that everybody's gonna have to endure. Everybody's gonna feel it. Family, you, loved ones, even the dog gonna feel it. Dog gonna be sitting there, it's like, all right, it's our time. Where Matt's at? It's it happens. Yeah.
That's real. That's real. All right. So, in the light of this time of year,
Mhm.
something happened to us when we were on our way home from work that I wanted to bring to the podcast, especially considering that it just happened last night. Um, I had my very first real, real road rage incident,
Come on.
and I just want to figure out like what the hell is are people thinking? Like, I just trying to figure that part out. So like, I'm getting on. We coming off the highway, right? We coming off of 95. You know my exit is like the joint that's through and through. So like if you keep going, once you get off the exit, you getting back on the highway if you don't merge over.
Yeah.
So like for real, like if I'm coming off that joint, like I just gotta yield before I get over
Right.
because of oncoming traffic. So I gotta slow down to make sure that I ain't about to get in nobody's way who trying to get over. So I'm coming off the highway
Mm-hmm.
and there's this car that's speeding up and like he going like 70 miles per hour trying to get past me. I put on my joints. I'm thinking he gonna go behind me, but all of a sudden I start hearing somebody lay down on the horn, and I'm talking about laying down on the horn so much that like it just one repeated sound. Like he just held that joint. Or he or she, I don't know who it was, but like and it's like 6 o'clock. It's dark already. Only thing I'm seeing behind me is like one headlight working. I'm assuming that the other side was already bashed up. They were trying to bash me with the other side, I guess. But bruh, tell me why these people they neglected getting on the highway and followed us, bruh.
Come on.
Yeah, yeah. So I turned into the neighborhood and and they still laying on the horn. They still following me. They swerving and stuff. I'm like, all right,
Come on.
that look like a problematic situation. Alyssa, she was like, "Are they really following us?" She was like, "Take a turn." I was like, "Baby, I'm not taking them home. They not going. They not about to find out where we live at. That's not how
Right.
this one work." So, she, she sit back. She kick her shoes off. She was like, "Look like this ride about to get a little longer." I was like, "Yeah, look like it." She was like, "What's the next play? What's the step?" So like, probably drive to police station. I was like, that's a good little idea. Maybe we could stop there. Maybe they could, if they gonna cause a scene, do it in front of
Right.
them. You know what I'm saying? So we drive and we didn't go into the like all the way into the neighborhood. We got like this little back street. Like as soon as you come into the neighborhood, you can
Yeah.
take a right and go up the back road. It'll actually take you back out to where Walmart is. So we took that road. We got like halfway up that joint and they stopped and turned around. So I was like, bruh, y'all ain't had nothing else to do.
That's great. That is, man. All right, so when it comes to the road, I don't understand why it- people speed drastically. All right, like it it doesn't make sense. And then I'm like, if you see somebody, going slow and you have to come around them, or you have to, why is it that you have to be first or ahead? Like you said, that person could have slowed down, got behind you, and they would have been fine.
I mean, by law,
Situation,
they should have.
yeah. But I'm like, what puts us in the mindset where we like disregard every decent human being molecule in our bodies, and like have a moment like that where you're following somebody just to get a last word, just to get a word in because you upset. Like apparently you was in a rush, so why you gonna stop rushing to
You know
have
what I'm
this
saying? That's
conversation with?
like that's the part I'm trying to figure out. Like you in the rush already. Like you stop your rush, all of a sudden your destination ain't important no more.
And it's because I've seen it so much, and I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't
Yeah, because you spend a lot
understand
of time in Baltimore, so I know you
what
saying that.
where like you have to go that extra mile, like that Medea syndrome, where someone's wronged you, or you feel
Medea
like someone's
syndrome.
wronged you, and you have to get them
Pull a gun
back,
out your
or
purse.
or yeah, or like just make the situation right, or and you're like, I don't, it's, I don't really care. Like my mindset is like, all right, and now with this new job, I've had it happen a couple of times where people like swerve, getting in the lane, or someone's coming up speeding, and I can see them in the rear view. Usually, if I have the opportunity, I just get over, let them pass. Sometimes there's a
Yeah,
car beside me, so I have to like either slow down, get behind that car, or speed up and get in front of that car.
yeah,
And about time, like I can that right lane when once it gets clear, they want to go ahead and swerve and speed on past me. And I'm like, bro, I was getting over. You see my signal light on. Like, just wait. I was getting out your way, man. I see you. I see you coming. But it's like, I don't, people be in rushes, or people just, and then it's crazy because, like, once they speed on ahead, you pull up and you end up passing them because they got stopped by the police. Now, like, shouldn't have been
or
speeding,
both,
buddy.
or both of y'all at the red light together.
Yep, had that happen coming home yesterday. This Camaro, he had some pipes on it because it was ridiculously loud for no reason. He come up, get to my stoplight, and I'm like, "Oh, what's up, man?"
Oh man, people suck. I probably shouldn't be saying that on a podcast about motivation and self development, but bruh, people.
you have people like that, and it's like it doesn't take nothing extra. It doesn't charge. You don't got to make a payment. There's no fees to be a decent person, to look out for the person right next to you. And it's like people ain't on that, and I'm like, you would live a lot better life. You would be in a better position
hmm
just being a decent human being. Like, well, why even stress yourself over things like that? And like you said, we said it on a previous podcast about like that road rage. Like, say you do have a confrontation with somebody, you laying on the horn, and you know, in a different circumstance, you had your pregnant wife in that car. if
Yeah,
if you were anybody else that wasn't about the business that we be talking about, that person could have lost their life over it. And
yeah.
you technically would have been in the right if they would have followed you home. If they would have came on your premises with your pregnant wife, you have all rights. Hey, I was
Mm,
scared for my life. I was
not
protecting
really.
my
Not
no.
really. Nah, nah. We ain't got no stand your ground law in Virginia, bruh. I'm going straight to jail. If they come on our property, and they just standing on the street yelling,
Oh,
I ain't got no right. I ain't got
standing
no
on the
right.
street yelling. But I'm talking about if they would have came onto your property and tried to have that, it you got all right. Not to kill them, but you got
I
rights to
mean,
hurt them a little
it's just the easiest way. I ain't gonna go there.
bit.
Go there. Too much anime.
But but
Oh man.
even though lawful or unlawful, like that situation could have got real, real, real
Yeah,
quick.
like I had to really think, like, weigh the options. Like, I'm like, yo, I got a pregnant wife right now sitting right next to me in the car. Like, yo, what is the best form of action for this particular situation? And I was like, yo, just keep driving.
Yeah.
It's all good. Just keep driving. Got a full tank of gas. We'll figure it out.
Like, follow me
I
off
know
with
for a
gas
fact,
before.
based on how they car look, I knew I had a bigger tank of gas, more gas than they did. That's probably why they turned around.
It's insane. But yeah, that's we gotta do better as a whole, people. Like like I said before, it doesn't take anything to just be a decent person. Um, when things like that happen, even if you were in the right, even if you were in the wrong, it happened. Like it's nothing better to do from that point on. We just be better. Just learn from your mistakes and be better. Um,
Well, not only that, but like I had this conversation with Alyssa on a different occasion.
hmm,
We were going through traffic and somebody did something, and she was like, "Why did they do that?" Like, it was something like mad aggressive,
hmm,
and she like, by human nature, you want to look at the person when you driving past them to see who committing the act or whatever. I was
hmm,
like, look forward. And she was like, what? I was just like, yo, just look forward. Like, we were passing them after they did it. I was like, just look forward. And she was like, what? Why? I was like, because if you look over there, it's going to justify what they just did. So now they're going to it's going to signal to them that we own to them, and then it's going to start a situation.
hmm.
So I was just like, look forward. Cause like I ain't really trying to be on that right now. I got something to do. I got places to be. I don't really need that mess right now. So like just look forward. So like for real, like if you in your car, like chances are, man, people trying to get to their point B. Ain't nobody worried about you. And that's what's wrong with people now. Like they think that everything, like, all right. So we got this phenomenon going on in the world right now where everything is offensive and is even translating to your car. So you
Yeah.
get in your car, and the next person just trying to drive. They just trying to they started off in point A, and they just trying to point B. They just trying to get to point B. Chances are there's nobody got in their car today. As you on your journey to point B, there's nobody in their car thinking that you they point B. But for whatever reason, everybody get in their car thinking that everybody else is targeting them. And I'm like, yo, just leave it alone. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Somebody slammed on brakes in front of you. That ain't a brake check. They just trying not to hit whatever is in front of them, and you just happen to be behind them. Like, yo, like somebody try to get over in your lane, bro. They probably didn't see you. Like they don't turn their neck when they driving. Like they didn't look over their shoulder. Like it's probably not like 90% of the time. Like I've noticed that people when they do stuff on the road, they make mistakes while they drive, and they literally just making a mistake.
Yeah.
But folks will make a mistake while they driving, and the other person, they get all aggressive. They think it's about them.
Yeah.
And then everybody, like, you driving next to somebody, you want to look all over and they all up in their car to see who they are. You want to make eye contact with them to let them know that you.
And they just
That's
be
all.
oblivious to the entire
No, I'm
situation.
saying they
Yeah.
oblivious until you make that eye contact, Mark. That's the thing
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. and that's how you end up on the side of the road shot.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I've seen that. Like we've heard stories about that. So not act like that ain't happening too.
And it's if there's no accident involved, there's no harm actually, you know, that has happened, then it's in the past now. It happened. You can't do nothing about it in that moment. Like you said, it was just a person making a mistake, and
Yeah, it
we
happens.
even make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, so just let it be. Like I said, move on from that situation. But eh,
Everybody acting like the safety department.
that's why we got cops. That's their job. You
Yeah,
focus on your job.
right. Focus on point B.
That's
Oh
that's
man.
that's interesting because with that, right, people being so butthurt about just the mistakes, or just the things that happen on the road like that, right? They it puts a sour taste in people's mouth, like,
Hmm.
because when the next time that happens, you can't see the mistake. You see that there's so many people that keep cutting me off, and now you've made it a whole thing where you're speaking it into existence. Now you're looking, every time you get on the road, you're looking for that point to happen, or that instance to happen, and it's just like, what are you doing?
Nah,
Like
I ain't gonna lie. My bad. I ain't gonna lie.
mm,
Keep hold that thought. Like, am I the only one on this podcast right now? There's only two of us, so am I the only one on this podcast right now who, like, if it's come time to merge over, like, say like two lanes of the highway
mm,
got shut down and everybody had to merge over, and you all the way at the end of that joint, like you see the arrow, the flashing arrow and the
yeah.
cones already, you right there. And am I the only
Now you want to
one
merge.
that's metaphorically being towed by the vehicle in front of me and riding a bumper to keep the person who just drove 2 miles in unencumbered traffic, eh, to keep from getting in front of me? Am I the only person that do that? Because I don't look for it, but it just so happens that every single time it happens, some dude, he's just like, yo, the rules don't apply to me, so I'm gonna drive all the way up here and I'm gonna get in front of the whole line right quick. All right, I'm the only one. All right, it's all good. I'm the only one. Continue your thought, man. Continue your thought.
I was gonna say, I was gonna bring up, I had an incident on the road, right? Uh, where it wasn't nothing negative. It was actually pretty positive, and it was like it took no time from me at all. Met a new job or whatever. I'm driving, and there's these construction workers that do the pole replacements or whatever. Replace the poles that the power lines on.
Yeah.
So they're in front. We're going across a intersection. We get across the intersection. We get to the second road or whatever that we're going across, and they pull over to the side. One guy gets out. He's waving. I passed him, and you know, and in that moment, I had two options. I was like, either keep going to get to my next job, or stop, see what they need. So I was listening to Myron Golden. I was listening to him like the entire day, and I was like, you know what? It ain't gonna hurt nothing. I'm pretty done with my workload or whatever. I'm gonna stop,
Yeah.
see what they needed. And turns out, the next destination I was going to, they were going to that same destination,
Hmm.
but they couldn't figure out. They had the old paper boy with the picture
Oh,
of the location. Yeah, I was like,
not the
God
MapQuest.
dang, I haven't seen this since, like, my parents used to take us on trips, and they had the
Come on,
the
bro.
whole list where, all right, you get on this exit and then you turn right off. I'm like, Jesus.
Oh my God.
I'm like, let me help y'all out. Look, what what's What's the location? All right, let me put that in GPS because they was like they put it in GPS and it wasn't coming up, and I was like, sometimes I'll have that like the GPS get all screwed or you put in one address and for some reason the
They
GPS,
drop you off down the street.
yeah, or it reads it as a SR dash 7 something, and I'm like, what is this? This ain't the road I need to go down. But anyway, turns out there was 2 houses down from the workplace that I was going to, and I was like, yo, y'all can just follow me and I'll just take y'all there. And that's what happened, and they were so grateful for it. They was like, I know you was busy. You was probably looking at us like I'm gonna just drive past these crazy mofos or whatever. And I'm just like, I mean, it kind of crossed my mind, but it won't nothing out of my day to just stop and help out a person. And
Right.
like I said, turns out we dang near had the same address that we were going
Mm-hmm.
to. So I was like, all right, cool. And it's just like moments like that, like there was at least probably about like 2 cars or something in front of me before it got to them, and they passed it. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
just imagine them sitting on the side of the road for however long, just waiting for somebody to stop. You know,
Mm.
uh, People would see somebody in that situation, be like, "Oh well, it ain't me," or I can't trust that situation because of what I heard or what I've seen or
No.
what I've been through, and just kept it going. But like, even though you've been through all that, even though you've seen the negativity in the world,
Mm-hmm.
what's hurting you from putting a little positivity out there? Like what?
Right. Yeah. I
And
get
it's
that.
just
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
nah, yeah.
What you're saying is like the difference between like just stopping to help somebody. Like if you were to see like maybe like a car got into an accident on a highway, and it was just them. Like they fell asleep behind the wheel or something. They rolled
Mm,
off into the shoulder or something like that, and you just see the car and you just keep on driving, like something like that. Like for real. I if there's already somebody there helping, like I don't bother. Like you already got people crowding around trying to find out what's going on. Like I
mhm,
usually don't stop with that. But like there was a time where somebody blew a tire and they ended up spinning out of control on the highway, and everybody seemed to like there were cars in front of me.
mhm,
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning on 95, and like people were driving, they just kept going, and I'm like, there's a car there. There's headlights facing you on the way up the highway. Like that ain't how this supposed to work. So obviously there's a problem here, and it's in
mhm,
the woods. So let's go check on that. So like yeah, like I feel that. So you know, check on your peoples, man. I mean, even if it ain't your peoples, man, it's somebody peoples. Check
yeah,
on them, like for real. Like it don't cost nothing. Like if you were in that situation, how would you feel if you turned around in the middle of the woods, your car upside down, and you see cars just casually going up the highway like nothing's wrong? Like, come on, man,
yep.
be a decent human, man.
And
Speaking of okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
was gonna
yeah, yeah,
bring
yeah.
up your jank that you had sent me.
Speaking of human decency, man. Oh man, and I got the screenshot, ma. I got the screenshot of the message, bruh. And I decided that I was going to use that joint as my cannon fodder. I'm just
Mm,
gonna I just wanted to keep that joint and use it for put it on the screensaver of my computers. Like every device that I got, I just want to use that message as the lock screen, as the and the background, the wallpaper, just to remind me that you working for something. This is what you working towards. So
mm,
um I don't even know how to get into it, for the sake of this podcast, but like I'm gonna try my best, right? Um, over last weekend, bro, and it messed my whole weekend up. I mean, I was on a high. I finished NaNoWriMo,
hey.
got the 50,000 in,
Mm,
got the certificate or whatnot, you know. No, Alyssa got the joint too, and she got. I don't know how she beat me, bro, but she finished before me somehow. I don't know. Like when the fuck do you get a chance to? I don't. When do you work? Like I don't even get it. Like I'm up all night, every night. What? Anyway, I ain't gonna go there. You know, there's just it speaks volumes to be more organized than the average human being, I guess.
More proficient on the keys.
Yeah. That don't make me feel too bad. I ain't trying to go there. Uh, but yeah, we went on our little date last week, and we were going to, we got this little tradition where we go to the holiday lights, the drive-in light show at Meadow Event Park near Kings Dominion, and we go to that joint every year, and we were heading up to that joint, and she talked about the message because they had just sent it, and I was like, nah, put that down. It's work related. She was like, nah, you won't want to hear this. So she read the joint off, and I'm like, bruh, really? Like I was like, yo, you gotta be embellishing that. I was like, yo, Lee, you ain't never had improv skills, like, but right now, your improv skills are fire. Your improv skills are fire right now. Like, and she was pissed, dog. I was like, nah, is that real? So like we stopped and I read that joint. I was like, yo, how dare they?
Mm-hmm.
How dare you? All right, so I'm gonna get into what the message is pretty much. Pretty much like at my job, they got the main office, where all of the higher managers, where all of them sit, um, they have a break room in there as well as three other break rooms that's in the building, and they got the amenities in that joint. That joint, I don't know if you ever been. Have you ever been in there, Mark?
I haven't even been where the where they say they got the open door policy where all the red vets.
Oh yeah, it
I haven't even
definitely.
been in that office.
Here, what proved that door is very close right now. This message proved that door is not open, as open as you think it is. So they got the little break room joint in there with all the amenities. They got a new coffee machine. They up in that joint. It's fancy as fuck. They got two Keurig machines, the fancy Keurig, the $500 joints. And they got the big espresso machine, all this joints, all that mess up in there, bro. The K pods everywhere. Hey, they got the works up in there. They got the pumps with the creamer, the coffee creamer, and all that other stuff like that. Like they set in that joint. Like you got all you need in that joint. And they got the little C Avenue joint up in there too. So they kind of in their C Avenue joint got all the healthy options. They put all the bad stuff on the floor for all the other folks, and they see Avenue got the fruit cups and the salads and all this other stuff. It is not the same in that joint. Like it's literally a complete difference, a whole 180. It look like California in that joint. Like like real talk, like avocado, all kind of stuff. Like yeah, bro. Man, I'm pissing myself off just even talking about this shit. So the message said it has been brought to my attention. And this was a message that went out via the general manager's assistant. Said it has been brought to my attention that tier threes have been using the amenities in this break room. You know what? Let me read the joint. I'm just gonna read it, and I put it on Drive too. So if you I don't put it on the podcast. I just thought about that. Just don't do that. I thought about it for a second. That's not a good idea. Drive don't want to load up because my computer tripping now.
Is it verbatim for what you sent in the message?
Hold on, bro. I took a screenshot. I'm pulling up a screenshot. I just want to read that joint. Maybe all right. So, good evening, y'all. It started off with the good evening, y'all, like we friends or something. Good evening, y'all. It is brought to my attention that the main office coffee break room is being utilized by employees that are not L4 plus. And that means managers. As a reminder, the main office break room is set up specifically for our L4 leaders. Please be sure going forward you are utilizing the front, back, or middle break room for your caffeine or tea intake. Now, I understand boundaries. I ain't gonna lie. I understand boundaries. I understand that, not everything is for everybody. I get it. I understand completely. That ain't the problem here. The problem is that we as this is a tier 3 group. This meaning all supervisors in the building are a part of this group that this message was sent in. Not regular associates, not, people who just got hired. These are people who actually get the job done in the building. Like this group is full of, all right, let's say this, right? So you know how you go to a hospital and you go for a certain situation and you see a nurse. You see a nurse or a nurse practitioner. And the nurse practitioner is usually the one that's calling all the shots. This person calling all the shots. They making the things happen. Chances are they work for a doctor. You won't never see the doctor. That's the reason why, because the doctor is the doctor. He ain't got to do much work. He ain't got to do as much work as the nurse practitioner. And you think about it, you go to a hospital, you see more nurses than doctors.
Yep.
And if the nurses weren't there, the doctors couldn't run the show. Let's be real. Like if you see the nurses station, ain't a doctor in sight. Like for real. So, this group that we're talking about is not full of patients. It's full of the nurses that's running the show. So in the middle of the busiest season of the year, you just pretty much put a message out there that say, stay in your place, stay in your lane, and do not disobey. So I've been trying to figure out, right? I've been trying to figure it out. I've been going to work, doing my little thing like the good little old slave I am. Just been trying not to ruffle any feathers. But lately, I've just been asking questions. And I have been asking questions prior to this message going out. And I'm like, asking my manager, because my manager is like, hey, you met this dude. He easygoing dude, young. He screams leadership potential. And somehow, even after 7 months of being at the job, he still ain't turned into a boss yet. So, kudos to my man. I don't know where he came from, but he obviously from a good family. They got some good values, and he refused to change his morals. Like, there's been some times where he questioned himself, and we talked about it. But for whatever reason, my man is still leadership. He still ain't made that transition over in the boss yet. So I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it still ain't dropped yet. So like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where we going here. I don't know if it's gonna last or what the case is like. But he ain't let the environment change him yet. Like, so I ain't even gonna go there because it was some stuff he told me yesterday. I ain't even about to go there. But yeah, so like I've been asking them questions. I'm like, yo, like, why is it that there's such a segregation between, bless you, why is there such a segregation between my position and your position? And he was like, I don't understand. So I explained to him what's going on. I'm like, yo, like your people, they come through, they don't look at me. And I'm like, no matter like color, whatever, like, yo, they don't look at me like my people and your people, we like oil and vinegar, bro. Like we don't mix. Like we just Like your people stick their nose up when they come through. Like they try not to speak to me. Like they make an efforts to keep to stay away from me. Like they making sure that when they got questions, they don't ask the people running the department. They ask you. And he's like, but I run the department. I was like, you do, but you know, don't get me wrong. You run the department, but you ain't running the floor. It ain't your job to run the floor, so it don't make sense to go to somebody who ain't running the floor to ask questions about what's going on the floor. So, but what I'm saying is that they make an effort to not be human to us. So I'm trying to figure that part out. And he was like, "Yo, I can't answer that. I don't know." I was like, "I've never really seen it." And then you know they do the little jump team boy, and he was like, "Let's come up with a plan for these people." And I'm like, "I ain't doing that." It's like, what? Why? It's part of my actions. I was like, I mean, it can be. I get you. I can do whatever you need me to do, but I ain't doing that. It's like, what's the problem? I'm like, because your people don't respect me, bro. I was like, they're gonna come back here, and no matter what plan you put together, they're going to ignore that plan and do what they want to do. And they're going to ask you instead of asking me. And I'm going to be here and they're going to walk circles around me. Ain't nobody going to acknowledge me. Ain't nobody going to say good morning. Ain't nobody going to say fuck off, have a nice day. Ain't nobody going to say nothing. They're going to ask you and they're going to go. And they came down there. They asked him. And I'm just standing right there. Yep. 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 And he looked at me. He said, I see it. I didn't want to see it, but I see it. I didn't think this was happening, and I'm so sorry. I was like, bro, don't apologize for them. Don't apologize for them, bro. Half of them older than you, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. So like, for real. And I'm not the only person going through this at work, bro. Like I promise you, like all over America, I'm not the only one going through stuff like this. So I wanted to bring that to the podcast because you know particularly because we haven't talked about it. You know, I just wanted to know, like, you know, same as always, Mark. How did you feel when you read that joint when I sent it to you, bro? Like, what went through your head when you saw this joint? Because I'm gonna go through what went through mine, and it's gonna be very long winded. Go ahead.
I was like, why are we even on that? Because like you said, you know, that's a great analogy, by the way, using the doctors and the nurses. Because we went to the hospital recently and like we saw that, like the nurses did all the work. Nurses,
Mm-hmm.
you know, took course blood pressure, made sure she was all right and all this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm sitting back, I'm watching everything. Doctor come in.
Wait, whoa! You what? Y'all was in the hospital. What happened? Everything
Uh,
good?
yeah, she not really allergic reaction, but something was affecting her eye or whatever. It got swollen, so it feeling real bad. So we went to the hospital.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
so doctor comes in, just like kind of reads off. So you it seems like you're feeling this way. Such. All right, so we're gonna put this ointment under your eye. She opens her eye, looks at it. All right, we're gonna write you a prescription. You can pick it up at this time, and
Oh,
then
you
we're gonna
actually
give you
talked to the doctor?
barely. It was very briefly. Like she came in, said a few words,
Holy
told her what
shit!
she was gonna give her, and then walked out. And then the nurse brought in the rest of the medications and did all the other stuff, and then discharged. And I'm like, what was the doctor for? Like the nurses could have done everything the doctor just did.
You know what I'm saying? And they probably had a whole prognosis before the doctor even came in.
Right. I'm like, what? What was that? And it's just like,
He went
what?
to school longer,
Get out of here. and
paid
and
society a little bit more.
in an instance like that though, right? In a job, in a career, in a workforce where you have those things, you have people in place that are doing more work, doing a lot more physical labor than you. Why aren't you supporting that? Like if I knew what you guys were going through and I was like L4, I'd be rolling around with a cart, like, you know, I ain't doing crap in the office. I'm rolling around with a cart. Yo, y'all need water. Y'all need energy drinks. What do y'all need? What can I do to make this better for y'all? Y'all out here slaving, literally slaving. What can I do? What y'all need?
And I
then,
make twice as much money as you, and I do nothing. I do nothing near what you do. And I can come to your department and I can say stuff like, bro, I don't know how you guys do this on a daily basis.
And they don't know. They don't care to know. And we've been over that. Like, working a 9 to 5, as long as numbers are getting made, it doesn't matter what you've gone through. It doesn't matter what mental, physical, degrading thing you done went through. As long as the numbers are met, it's damn near justified at the end of the day. And it's like, people go through this for years until they retire, and it's just like, why put yourself through that? Like, why?
Right.
I mean, I understand it needs to get done. There's people out there that's gonna go through that, that's gonna work that, that's gonna do that. But I'm just like, for the people that want more for themselves, why put yourself at that level and do that until
Right.
you die? Like,
Right.
that's your legacy. And then you want your kids to go through something like that. You want your legacy, your family, to be in that position. Like, it's one thing to, go through it, and then have an exit point at the end. But y'all are just going through it, sitting in it, marinating in it, and then you become spoiled. Like, not spoiled in the sense of, like, you getting a whole lot of things, to the point where, like, every action you take at the job, for the job, it's sour, it's bland, it's no positivity in it. You're gonna do the work regardless, but you're gonna complain each and every way. I'm just like, reading that put me in a headspace where, like, that wasn't even necessary for like.
It could have been implemented so many different ways, bro. Like, for one thing, like, we come to find out that somebody in my position was abusing it. Like, they were going in that joint, stealing K cups, and taking them joints home. And then there was another person who was telling their associates that they can go in there and they know exactly who did these two things, these two actions. But instead of dealing with those people directly, they put out this message. And I'm like, yo, like, we work in such a weird culture that, we go above and beyond to find out why something happened, just to not do nothing about it when we get to the actual problem. Like, we get to the problem and then we just like, all right, now we know that the reason for the problem, we're good. Like, we don't do nothing to try to resolve the problem. We just find out what the problem is, and then we just we bridge it, like they say, we bridge it. But as you were talking just now, about y'all experience at the hospital, I recently had the same kind of situation. It made me laugh because I was just thinking about my situation. I took my mom to get a colonoscopy. She got the annual colonoscopy going on. Well, I think it's like every 10 years or something like that, just for preventative maintenance or whatever. And it was like that joint was like an assembly line, bro. Like, they had all of the patients in that joint lined up. They were in all these little cubicles or the little stations or whatever with the beds in it. Like, it looked like a triage, like a emergency room, but it was like for specifically for outpatient stuff. They had one doctor in that joint working, and it might have been more than one doctor. I don't know who all the other people were seeing, but I just know my mom was in that joint seeing the one dude. And when she was done, it was like we were in there for like 3-4 hours. Like, when she was finally done, we were in the room. She was in the bed for like an hour 45 minutes, and I guess that was to allow the dude time to finish with all the other patients, and they had brought all the other people to the other side. It was like the input of people who needed to go, and then the output of people who needed to check out or whatever, who were waiting for the doctor to come talk to them or whatever. And the nurse had already told my mom everything. Doctor didn't find anything. There was no problems or whatever, but we just waiting for Dr. Rashid to come talk to you. Blase spleeves. Like, yeah, he'll be in a minute. So the doctor come, he ain't even remember looking. He ain't even remember her. Like, he just like, he looked at the chart. It's like, all right, no problems. All right, bye. He just walked off. He didn't make eye contact. His feet, you can tell body language. If your feet is facing away from the conversation, that means you're trying to. That's a clear indicator that the person is trying to leave. And I was just watching my man's body language. He was like this the whole time. Okay, chart look good, no problem. Bye. Like, he was like, and my mom was like, hold up, I got some problems. Like, I need to talk to you about it. He's like, oh. It was almost like his whole world was rocked because somebody made him stop. Like, and you can see it in his face. He was getting pissed because somebody made him stop. Like, he was pissed. He was like, all right, I got stuff to do. He doing the dance. He's just like, and he's like, his head was facing her, but his body was like trying to get away. So I could see it in him, and I was just like, yo, this dude is real. Like, this dude's bedside manner is horrible, dog. Like, he's the type of dude that tell you got 6 months to live and then turn around start talking about his golf tournament, bro. Like, he look like one of them type of dudes, bro. So man, so somebody probably like, and I find it interesting that not everybody in the position that I'm in are upset about the message when the message went out. Like, not everybody can understand exactly why it was so jarring to see something like that. And to those people, I say, I don't understand you and how you act, like how your brain works, because I don't know. And maybe it's just me, man. I don't know. I mean, ET definitely validated me on this thought process, so I ain't even about to apologize for it. But like, I ain't in the business of letting another human being dog me like that, bro. Like, I'm really not. Like, I ain't feeling the whole, stay in your place mentality. Like, I ain't the one. Like, I promise you, I ain't the one. Like, there's been moments where, some of these big head types, they come through, and we talked about it before. Like, the time I got heat for making some managers speak, like, just say good morning. Like, they walk past me, they act like I ain't there. My eyes follow them. I'm like, good morning. I said good morning. And they felt some type of way about that, so like, yeah, we got stuff like that going on. Like, Alyssa said she do it all the time too. At this point now, I just kind of stop and just kind of do my own thing, because like, the more they not looking at me, the more they don't expect me to fix things when they see there's a problem, quote unquote, whenever they decide to come out of the office and grace us with their presence or whatever. But yeah, man, I'm not in the business of allowing people to dictate what I can and can't do. Like, I ain't for all that, bro. So like, when I saw the message, bro, I'm just like, yo, they trying to tell me I ain't good enough, dog. Like, bro, you just
Yeah.
you just said that I ain't good enough for your coffee, bro. Like, how dare you, dog?
Yep.
Just because you went to school, dog? Like, hold up now. And half of Like I ain't about to go there because like most of the people they ain't even been to school. They just got time and grade. They just they just decided that they got what it takes to finish or complete an interview. Like for real, like yo, you just told me that I'm not worthy, and I'm just looking around at everybody else like yo, why you not feeling that? Like why didn't that affect you the way it's supposed to? And like folks was like, yo, you tripping, dog. Like, yo, we never been able to go in there. I've never gone in there. I'm like, yo, that ain't the point. Like, bro, you are a person. They are people. They are humans.
Like
they bleed red, shit brown, put on pants one leg at a time, just like you. And you allowed them to just tell you that, oh, you ain't good enough for my coffee. Stay in your place, peasant. Bruh, I'm trying to figure out, like, yo, how dare you, another man, telling a grown man that you ain't good enough, bruh. I promise you, I'm older than some of the most of the people who putting that, like the person who slacked that, bruh, is younger than me, dog. And Slack, I've just the group message, the messenger or whatever.
yeah.
The person that sent that message out is younger than me, bruh. So I'm just like, yo. Am I not supposed to feel some type of way? Am I not supposed to be motivated by that? Like, yo, how are you? How like I'm just trying to figure out like how other people looking at this message like, and bruh, it's normal to them. It's so normal to them that they just like let it fly, and they thought nothing about it until I came through and was like, you won't see this, and there everybody like, yo, now I'm pissed. You right. Now I'm pissed. Yeah. I'm like, yo, you call the shots in the building, bruh. You call the shots. It's not bad enough that, we got people doing whatever, like, we supposed to be supervisors. We doing the job. We running the show. We got to ask them. We already got to ask you for permission to do everything that we got to do to make the job functional anyway. Like, that's not enough of a slap in the face already. And now all of a sudden we being told that we are not good enough for your coffee room. Bruh, they done put I promise you, since last week, bruh, they done put signs up saying that only L4s and above on their break room. And now they talking about walling it off and putting a door on it so that only L4 badges work on it. They are going that far with it.
It ain't that serious.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
not.
No, it's that serious to them because they believe that they're higher than us. They believe that they're mightier than us. It's the reason why whenever we see them, they got their head up and they looking down their nose at us. They believe that we are not worthy enough to touch the things that they touch. These things are sacred, and you peasants, you are not worthy of this of this amenity. This is for the gods. You are not a god, so stay in your place. You are trying to come up off the ground. You are trying to come up into the ranks and touch something that was not meant for you. That is what that's what they're doing. So it is serious. It's serious to them. But now you have made it serious to me. You have made this my priority to find a way into this realm. And I'm trying to figure out why nobody else is looking into this they just like let it slide like, okay, yeah, I'm not good enough. Well, okay, whoopie do. I'll bring my own coffee. I'll go to the other break room. I'm like, bro, like people are making excuses like, okay, well, I'll just go to the other break room. I'll bring my own coffee. I'll do this. I'm like, yo, it ain't got nothing to do with that. How you missed the message here? Like, is this biblical or not?
Oof. Yeah. And it's I don't either understand why people even get into that headspace to put a message out like that, because like you already have people that are in that mode of they I understand that these people are perceived to be higher than I am, because like I said, I've never even been in that office, in that
It's not a
area in
perception, bro.
general.
It's the mentality. You gotta understand. It's not a perception. It's a perception to us because we never been there. But
Yeah.
it's their mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They believe that, Mark. They saying that when I went when I went into this break room, all of the K cups that I want to use were gone because some peasant used them all.
Wow.
That's
Yep.
the mentality, Mark. Like, this ain't a game, bro. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. These people literally do that when they see us, dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo. So to make it practical, right? To get to a point where people can take something home. Um, you have that. That's dang near every 9 to 5 job. You know, you might be
I haven't
blessed
found
enough to
one
be
yet.
in
That
a
ain't.
you might be blessed enough to get a job where there's not many higher ups like that. Like there's supervisors, managers, and then the boss. Usually the supervisor manager, you will find a job where they're a little lenient, but they still have that mentality. Even when I was working at McDonald's, and boss lady would drop in every now and then. Person that owns, you know, put that paid that 10 mil. Well, her dad paid for it anyway. Anyway, she would come in and you could feel it. Like she was on this high status, this upper echelons level or whatever. You know, she ain't been there for years. Like she don't even know us from first on first name basis. But like she barking
Why?
orders or whatever.
Why she need to? Why does she need to?
True, true.
Let's be real. Why does she need to?
But like it was just like certain things would go on when she's not there, and there's certain things that has to be done when she's here. So it's just like, what are we doing? Like what is this? What they do we all of a sudden have to be lesser people because she's here? We have to act like we're like she just like us, you know.
Stay in your place.
Well, yeah, she ain't just like us. She just a little bit more spoiled. Her family a little bit more, well off. We work for her, but
Stay in your place, Mark. Flip them burgers, bro. Stay in your place, dog. You don't make this money, bro. This ain't your building, bro. This is my building, dog. Stay in your place. How dare you talk to me, bro? Your fingers off me, dirty peasant. Real talk, man. Real talk. Yo, it's not a game out here, man. What I'm telling y'all is that there are people who look down on you, not because you're a lesser human. Maybe they don't. Maybe and I'm not even about to sit up here and act like there are people out here. There are not people out here who look down on people because of their status. Like, yo, for real, like, the reason is different from person to person. Maybe one person believes that their position makes them more credible than you, or they believe you ain't work hard enough to be on their level, or there's another person who believe that because they're higher than you, then you don't amount to as much. And regardless of what the reason is, like, there are people out here doing it. What I'm trying to tell you on this episode is that I ain't trying to complain about what my job is doing again. What I'm telling you is that there are people in this world who believe that you are not worthy of what they can achieve. You are not worthy of the things that they touch. There are people who literally believe that you should bow down to them when they come through, when they see you. And what I'm trying to tell you is that you should be motivated by that. That should be your motivation. Man, to people who catch it and you feel that, and for whatever reason it doesn't bother you in the same way. Like, yo, I'm asking you, like, yo, how is it that you're trying to live your life? And I promise you, as a person who wants to be remembered for centuries after he dies, I promise you I'm not okay with this. I promise you I'm not. Like it makes me feel, it gives me a rage that I can't explain on one episode. I would need a few hours to explain the rage that I feel, or the internal frustration that I felt about my situation when I read that message. Because I mean, I promise you, bro. And Alyssa read it to me like before we even went to the joint, and the whole entire joint. I don't even think I remember. I don't even think I remembered the thing that we went to do because I was thinking about that message.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it. Like the whole experience was derailed because of that situation. Like the only memory I have, I feel like I gotta go back and do it again because the only memory I have is reading that message before we went through. Because I don't deserve that. I know for a fact that I and myself don't deserve that. So like I'm like, people, like for real, if you see this happening in your day-to-day life, and I promise you it is, whether you know it or not, I promise you it is, you can't go talk to your boss. You can't just go roll up in your boss's office. We tried that. Open door policy or not, we tried to go up in the main office and talk to them people about some stuff that they got control of. We tried to go up in there and have a talk with them. You can't do that. Set an appointment. What's wrong with you?
Yep. Yep.
And while we were in there, and talking, we in there trying to get an appointment. Dude ain't doing nothing. He just in there on his, bro. His door was open, like physically, it was open. It's a physical virtual mismatch. The door was open. Physically the door was open, but virtually we couldn't go through. So we couldn't, like, we went in there. We tried to go in there. Hey, whoa. The person, and the person who sent the message out, because that's her job to do that. We went in there. We tried to go in there, and she stopped us. Was like, "Oh, what y'all doing? Y'all need to talk to who? Okay, did you try talking to such and such out on the floor?"
Oh no.
Yeah. Look, and I promise you, bro. While we were in there trying to have this conversation, because like, dog, it was a situation of, the person that we supposed to talk to, the person that's within our line of sight, wasn't doing their job. So we tried to go above the person who was supposed to be watching us because they're not doing their job. So let's talk to the person who's in charge, and maybe he might have some influence over this because we just want to get our job done. But we in there, the door's open. She asking us questions. Man, right there, it's open door policy. No, we need to set an appointment. Okay. Meanwhile, as we're standing there having this conversation with her, somebody who is able to use the break room walks right in, closes the door, and they chopping it up. Not even about work related stuff.
That's crazy.
So with stuff like that going, you know what? Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead. You got something.
I was gonna say, like, with all that in mind, and the people that aren't really seeing a problem with that, like, what type of respect level do you have for yourself to where, like,
Thank
that
you.
doesn't tee you off? Like,
Thank you.
You the reason why it's pissing us off is because, like, we have so much respect for ourselves. We want to do more. We want to be more. We know that more is in us, and we can live this life more abundantly. People are out here going through that stuff, and they I ain't gonna even say they oblivious to it, because they see
They're
it.
not.
They
They're not.
feel that, and they'll go their entire lives going through that. Like I said, going through that until they retire. They're like, oh well, I make it to retirement. I'll be fine. All this will be worth it once I retire. But you got to go through all that. The person that is doing the dirt to you, they living life lavishly. Like you said, dude came in, or lady came in, closed the door on y'all, just having a good old conversation about non-work related thing, probably about what they gonna do outside of work, about how they gonna basically live off the slave
My
labor,
effort.
the labor of, yep. And it's just like, people fall right in line. People, it's just like cattle going to the slaughter. They just, they okay with it. Like as long as that paycheck is coming in, as long as they comfortable, they okay. And I'm just like, there's more out here than this. There's better out here than this. Like, and the person that sent that message, the lady that owned that McDonald's that I worked at, I have a talent that they can't even do. That they can't. No matter what it'll be a lot easier for me to be in my talent, working hard in my talent, than it is for them trying to do what I could do. And it's just people never get to that point. People never get to the point where I can work a little bit. I can do this job until I master my talent, and I won't have to deal with none of this. I can be my own boss. I can have my own company or whatever, and I can run it better than this. People don't see that.
Yeah, but even in addition to that, like, cause there's some people who ain't really trying to climb the corporate ladder like that. So, or like trying to be like their own boss, but like real, like you can
At
climb the
least,
corporate ladder with that motivation too. Like you don't have to be stuck where you are. Like when I became a supervisor, it was specifically to have more control of what I do. Because I had people who were incompetent telling me what I had to do on a regular basis, and I didn't like that. So like I decided to change that, and that's why I became a supervisor. Because if I got to spend time there, then I'm going to spend it there doing something a little more valuable than working on the ground. So like for real, like you can use the same motivation to move you up in any direction. But at the bottom line is what Mark said, how much do you respect yourself is the real question. Because if you don't respect yourself, and you can always tell them when they come through, because they hear stuff like that and it's like, yeah, but that's been going on all the whole time. And I'm like, it's been going on the whole time, but you okay with it? Like it doesn't bother you at not one bit. So like for real, like the question is how much do you respect yourself to have to keep subjecting yourself to it without any action being taken? I promise you, the moment that we read that, the reason why I couldn't focus on our date was because I couldn't focus on nothing but getting back to work. I couldn't focus on nothing but getting back in front of the computer and writing. I couldn't focus on nothing, bro. I was done. Like mentally, I was spent around. Like I should have I should have pulled off to the side of the road and waited for a minute and calm down or something. But like, yo, for real, I couldn't focus on absolutely nothing but that message. And it happens so often and so frequently now that, yo, like half of the time, like I'd be ready to leave work and just walk out the door because like for some reason somebody pissed me off, said some stuff, and they thought that, they could get away with a certain action and thought that I wasn't going to see it and thought I was just going to be okay with it. But like half of the time, bro, like my mindset is focused on getting the hell out of there, getting to myself so I can work hard enough to tell those people what to do. They don't respect me. So what do I need to do to get them to respect me? I need to work hard and give them a reason to respect me. And I promise you, dog, I figured it out, right? I figured it out when I was working at Walmart distribution. We had a dude there, this man, and bro, I don't know what kind of lifestyle my man was doing, dog. When I tell you this, dog, you're gonna be so confused, bro. My man was working at Walmart distribution, and he ain't never have a job. Like he used to always do the easiest stuff. He ain't had no power equipment license. Ain't nobody ever asked him to do that. Only thing this man did was working in the easiest part of the warehouse all day, every day. He ain't never had a complaint. He was an older dude. This man was like it. Like he was one of those dudes that he just all he did was flirt with younger girls all day long. Every time he seen them, like he was taking girls home, paying for their groceries, paying for they like picking a random bill, paying for it, car note, rent, all type of stuff, just for why he doing it. But what I came to realize was dude had a little money outside of there. But not only did he have a little money, that man owned a considerable amount of shares in the company. Like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point he might have invested in them, and then the stock kind of grew with them, but he had a lot of shares. He wasn't a manager, he was a regular dude, but they treated him different because he owned a lot of shares and he had a lot of money. Nobody wanted to cross this dude. What this dude said was word, as much as the managers was, but it was because on the outside he had proven himself to be worthy of their acknowledgement. So I'm going back to something right now. If you work hard enough, I promise you, I don't know, I don't care what realm of life this is. Ain't nobody ignoring the person who can benefit them. Nobody. You don't ignore the person who can benefit you. You don't ignore the person who can buy you. You don't ignore the person who can pay you an hourly wage. You don't ignore the person who has done the work to sit in front of you you can't ignore a person who has proven themselves on the outside. That's why when we started talking about the consistency of the Dirty Trump podcast, nobody complained. They said, okay, the Dirty Trump podcast on episode 218 right now. Ain't nobody questioning that. Ain't nobody questioning AJ's loyalty right now because he did 218 episodes of the Dirty Trump podcast with the same dude from the beginning. Ain't nobody questioning his loyalty right now. Ain't nobody questioning what he can get done right now because when he said that he was going to do something, when he said he was going to write that book, he wrote that book and he did it. So ain't nobody questioning that. But what they are questioning is we are above him. We need to make him stay in his place because he ain't put in the work. He ain't put in enough work to be on top of us yet. He sold them little books. He did that little podcast, but he ain't got nowhere yet. So we believe that we can still keep him in his place. What are you going to do about it when they tell you to stay in your place? That is what I'm asking you. What are you going to do about it when they tell you that you are not allowed here? What are you going to do about it when they say you ain't allowed on the bus? This is us. This is our thing. What are you going to do when they block you off and play Red Rover at the door? What are you going to do about it? That is the question that I ask you today.
Yeah. Like, have enough respect for yourself. Things like that light a fire under your butt to put you in a better position. Because, like you said, you're only respected. You're only at the top once you gain enough, whatever you need, knowledge, power, wealth. And the only way to get there is to work hard. Like, your actions, your work ethics is going to show to other people, hey, this person is trustworthy. This person has put in the time, has put in the work to where there's nothing I can do to mentally break this person or be above this person because they know more than I do. They know everything that I'm trying to get to. Like the people we listen to, the people we try to imitate, we imitate them or we try to learn from them because they put in the work. They're at a point that we're trying to get to. They're at a higher point than we didn't even know was fathomable. Like, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, Myron Golden, you know, guy that wrote Poor Dad, Rich Dad,
Rich Dad,
all
Poor
these
Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all these people we're trying to learn from, they put in the time. and at one point in time they were at a point lesser than we were. ET was homeless, you know. Myron, he was at a point in his life where he didn't like himself. He didn't even like his name. And it's like,
That's the
what what can you do to put yourself over the top? Because you didn't have a start like these people. And a lot of time that's the reason. You didn't have a start like those people. You were actually put in a better position. So you kind of a little bit more comfortable and you kind of settle there. These people were damn near at rock bottom and there was nowhere else to go but to the top. Like you gotta put yourself in a mindset to where I gotta get it no matter what. Like we are too comfortable being disrespected. We're too comfortable working jobs that the only reason they're there is so somebody can work it until they die. It damn near is just another plantation to be at.
Yep.
We're too comfortable being at that level, and we're only there because it pays us enough to pay bills.
Forget where we supposed to be going.
Exactly.
I'm done.
We gotta do better, people. We gotta do better.
I'm done.
All right. What we got coming up?
At the moment, I'm gonna continue working. I've redone the cover for the Jim Stacy again. Again. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there again. Um, I I decided that I was going to go in a different direction with it, and this is a way to bring it back to, how do I put it? This is a way to bring the series to a in the public eye, I guess you could say, bring it to a way of world building instead of just a novel. You know what I mean? So like, we started incorporating the arcane and text a little bit more. The fire emblems, the pyro orb and things of that nature. So yeah, man. I'm excited for the direction that it's taken, and I can't wait to keep rocking it out and finish it up, man. I got to take a serious peek, a serious gander at what my next move is and how I'm going to implement it. Because if I don't do it right, then I got a kid on the way, so I don't necessarily have too many ways to or I don't have a lot of wiggle room, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so yeah, that's my move for the day, man. And for the next week, I'll be working on the book, trying to finish that thing up, man, because I do have a deadline to make. School is about to start again, and that ain't about to be hitting on none because they got me signed up for 2 classes now, so um we'll see how this goes. All right.
You got it. The whole discussion board. Just make sure you do the discussion board. Time is on time.
That's the discussion board is the part that I have a problem with, bro. That's the part that I got a real problem with. Like I hate the discussion boards, bro. Like it just really don't make sense. Like I don't learn nothing from the discussion boards.
All right. Working hard on my end, man. I'm after we get off here. Let me see. Probably got a little bit more time. Squeeze out a little bit more of my little coursework or whatever. Definitely gonna have some at the end, a model or a sculpture at the end of this course.
That
So we in there. We in there like
that
somewhere.
I seen something yesterday, bro, and do you know who there's a YouTuber named Jazza? You ever heard of him?
Yeah. What it do?
he does a lot of art stuff, and he does a lot of art stuff revolving around Pokemon. And I saw something that he did yesterday. He he made a diorama of Viridian City from Pokemon Yellow, and he did it so that they can do they do like this little role playing game. Him and his crew do a role playing game with the dioramas that he made, and it's based on Pokemon. Like they literally do like Dungeons and Dragons with Pokemon.
Okay.
So they turn somebody else's product into a Pokemon. It's a Dungeons and Dragons themed Pokemon game, bro. With the dungeon master and everything, like the game master, all that stuff. Yeah, like they doing all that, bro. Like I ain't never played Dungeons and Dragons, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. So, but I thought it was I thought it looked kind of cool. And you know, in the process of me watching that, um, a a joint came up online on YouTube. It was like the somebody made one of like the lo-fi concentration music joints, and they did it with like the Pokemon joint, bro. Like I was like, yo, people really out here, and that joint was made with Unreal Engine too. So I was like, yo, people out here really doing stuff with other people's brands, right? Like, and I just and like every single time I think about that, I'm like, yo, like how far can we take this for real? Like, what is the real destination by the time we die? Like, how far can we really take this thing, man? Like between Morton's Castle and the Aether Universe, like how far can we go for real? Like, it's just it's an exciting thought, man.
Right. Well, alrighty, people. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome, and it's me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. We just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace, love y'all. See y'all next week.